Something must be happening. Good afternoon, all. You guys are sitting further up front. That's pretty good. You all ready? All right. Just want to make sure. Well, another week, and a few more Democrats announced retirement. Another week, and morale across this country has plummeted. 70%. Think about that. 70% of Americans describe the economy of America as poor or not so good. That's the highest numbers it's been since the last time President Biden was serving in the White House. U.S. consumer confidence recently plunged to a 10-year low. 1 in 4 consumers have reported reducing their living standards. We're talking about America. 1 in 4 reported reducing their living standards as they adjust to a 31-year high inflation rate. We have a supply chain crisis that continues to rage on. We have skyrocketing prices and a scarcity of goods our citizens are experiencing. Ask yourself this. What has this chamber done, especially this week, to alleviate any of these pressures on our fellow citizens? Those are the actual people that elected them to come here. The answer? Absolutely nothing. The Democrat majority under the leadership of Speaker Pelosi is more interested in protecting special interests and delivering tax cuts for their wealthy friends. As I said, another week and 2 more Democrats announced retirement. As I said yesterday, Speaker Pelosi is burning down this House on our way out the door. She isn't concerned about how many bad votes Democrat members have to take or how many Democrat retirements she creates. Who can blame them for announcing retirement? They see the writing on the wall and they know this reconciliation bill will be the end of their Democrat majority and for many of them, the end of their congressional careers. If House Democrats follow through with passing this, which we wonder if it's possible, it will all but guarantee any Democrat that sits in a seat that is a D plus 10, they are at risk of losing their race. I don't know how Representatives Spanberger or Luria are going to defend this vote and run for re-election. Consider this, just in Virginia, 2 weeks ago. Governor-elect Glenn Youngkin won their districts by 11 and 8 points respectively. If you even listen to what Spanberger said after that election of Joe Biden, he wasn't elected to be FDR. But the bill they want to bring up today, the chief of staff to Biden brags it's bigger than the New Deal. So I wonder if she'll keep her word and how she votes. I don't think their constituents are going to appreciate them helping to pass a bill that empowers the IRS to squeeze every single dollar from American families and small businesses. It's the second biggest giveaway in this, are billions to the rich. Delivers a tax cut to 2/3 of the country's millionaires. Democrat enforcement of the IRS proposes to hire 87,000. You know what that does? It adds another 1.2 million audits. So who does that hit? Nearly half of those audits will directly impact families earning $75,000 or less. If you're a millionaire, it's going to give you a benefit. If you're earning $75,000 or less, you got a better chance of being audited. 1/4 will affect the Americans who earn $25,000 per year. Is this really what Speaker Pelosi refers to as a spectacular vision of 87,000 more agents? And what about those 21 Democrats who sent her a letter asking it to be out of the bill? Do they still vote for it? I'm not sure if they'll wake up and oppose this disastrous bill, but I suppose we'll find out a little later today. We've watched this country with one-party rule in 1 year have skyrocketing gas prices, Americans left hostage in the Middle East, inflation like we haven't seen in 3 decades, crime in our streets, And this is their answer to only double down further. It's not the path America wants nor desires. And today we'll find out the course of history. With that, let's open up for questions. Yeah.
Leader McCarthy, if Republicans win back the majority in the next election, do you plan on stripping any Democrats of their committee assignments? And if so, who are some of those Democrats that might be in danger of losing their committee seats?
Look, I think I was very clear in my speech yesterday. Pelosi has set new policies here. Those same members that I talked about in my speech voted for those new policies. This isn't about threats, but it's about holding people accountable. I think the majority is going to have to approve any of those members on the committees of which they could serve.
McCarthy. With regards to Republicans who have been stripped of their committee assignments by this majority, do you plan to give Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar their committee assignments back if you take the majority?
Yeah. The committee assignment they have now, they may have other committee assignments. They may have better committee assignments. I think with Gosar, those are the ones he wants. Taylor Greene, she was just a freshman. I know she's requested others. She has a right to serve on committees. Yes.
In regard to reconciliation, part of the Build Back Better Act has to do with universal pre-K, but yet parents can't use that to send their kids to religious schools. Your reaction to that?
Control of government trying to pick and choose. You know, yesterday, and I don't think we enrolled it yet, but introduced it, we talked about a Parents' Bill of Rights. Parents have a right to know what's being taught in their schools. They have a right to know what the reading material is. They have a right to know what money is being spent. They have a right to know what violence is happening on their campus as well. So I think you'll see an introduction of that bill later today.
Thanks, Leader McCarthy. I wanted to ask you about the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing. Do you support either a full or diplomatic boycott of that? And then also, what would your message to the athletes be?
I have a hard time wondering why the world would reward China, especially after COVID, with another Olympics. I would have a hard time wondering why we wouldn't move it to another country. I would support the moving of the Olympics. Paul, you doing okay? Got any questions? I worry about you sometimes.
When's the last time you spoke to Donald Trump?
This morning.
Can you tell us about
He called up. He was on the golf course.
Did he talk about yesterday at all? Or
No.
campaign?
Catching up, just him. No, wasn't even campaign either. I have lots of friends. I talk to a lot of people. You can call me sometime, too. You haven't called me in a long time. That's why I worry about you. I want to make sure you're doing okay.
Send me your phone number. I'll call.
It's the same one I've always had. I never changed my number. Yes.
Why is it that the only thing Republicans will punish one of their own members for in this Congress is speaking out against Donald Trump?
I don't understand your question.
A Republican member who's been in any way punished by the conference this year is Liz Cheney, who lost her role.
Did she lose the committee?
She lost her role in the Republican conference. I know you were there.
She didn't get punished by that. She lost an election. I'm sorry. People go up for election all the time. It's not, no basis there.
Why do Republicans
Yes, ma'am.
feel compelled to hold any kind of punishment for any of their members on any of these other things which Democrats have been so upset?
Okay, let's talk about that since you raised the issue. Democrats have been so upset about. Were they upset when Maxine Waters told people to get? No, with all due respect. Well, thank you for your question. All due respect, I get to answer it, right? In the manner in which I have the right to. So Democrats are so upset by a chairwoman of financial services when she told people, if you see anybody in the Trump administration, if you see people who support Trump, get in their faces, make them not wanted here. Or what about when she went up to a trial and tried to influence it? Influence it so much that the judge referred to it. Were the Democrats upset by that? Were the Democrats upset when the FBI came to them and told them one of their own was associated with a Chinese spy? That same member Swalwell cannot get a security clearance in the private sector, but this Democrat Party that is so upset by everything rewarded this individual with the secrets of America and to serve on that committee. Or what about just recently, Hakeem Jeffries putting a tweet out trying to influence a trial that the country is watching today, not worried about the due process. Were they upset by that at all? I don't know. Or what about the Democrats who are so upset with others, they want to have a high standard, that their own Speaker of the House broke the rules on the floor, had her words taken down. Did she stand there? No, she left. And those Democrats who were so worried waited hours before anybody would get into the chair to read the parles because it went against the Speaker. But did the Speaker live by the rules of the House that everybody else is supposed to have, that high standard? No, she made every single one of those members take a different vote and treat her differently. So yes, we hold our members to a high standard. It's interesting to me how the Democrats want rules for thee, but not for me. That's not right. That we win the majority. Yes.
Leader McCarthy, have you or any of your members of your conference been contacted by telecommunications companies for your phone records or messages in relation to the January 6th select committee?
Yes, ma'am.
Last question. So we're a lot of Republican members that they still do want those 13 who voted for the infrastructure bill removed from committees, especially encompassing tax code. I mean, how do you proceed here?
Look, our members are focused on the American public, focused on making sure we don't have more inflation, making sure we can lower the gas price, make us energy independent, make sure we don't leave Americans hostage in Afghanistan. We're united on that, and what we'll continue to work for. Thank you very much.
What would have been an appropriate punishment for Representative Gozar?